very happy also to hear from the EarTrain team. So Joe O'Malley and Jean Tsembis, I hope is, and Lorrraine Taui is going to, you know. Are you going to come up, Lorrraine, or? Yeah, yes, she is, yeah. Talk to us about the workshops and the learnings from those. So thank you. And thanks for coming across to see us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having us. Thank you for inviting us. Lorrraine, up you come. Come on. The whole reason we're here is because of Lorrraine, so she's getting the spotlight too. So my name is Joe O'Malley. I am the program manager for EarTrain, and with me is Jean Tsembis, who is one of our teachers and has been with the program since day one, and the lovely Lorrraine, and I'll tell you why the lovely Lorrraine is standing up here in a moment. Let's see if this works. Yes. All right. So I would, of course, like to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the lands we're on today. I would also like to acknowledge the Awabakal people as the custodians of the lands of where I live, work and play, which is over in Newcastle, New South Wales, which is also the location of Omoz, if anyone is coming to Omoz. Shameless plug there. Wonderful. So look, I do pay my respects, and I also extend those respects to all First Nations people in the room today. So what is EarTrain, I hear you ask? EarTrain is fully funded by the Australian Government, the Department of Health and Aged Care, and we deliver it nationally through TAFE New South Wales. The program is a blend of online topics and practical skills workshops. So the online topics, I want to bust a little bit of a myth here. There are 25 online topics. You don't need to complete all 25. I'm not sitting at my desk looking at who's completing all 25 topics. I want you to see it as a resource, I guess. Take from the program what you need. If there's information there that's relevant and useful, please use it. But please don't feel that you need to complete everything. I appreciate that we're already a very stretched and overworked workforce, and the last thing that I would ask is people to complete 25 online topics. If you want to, go for it. But we also deliver practical skills workshops, and that's really the focus of what we're having a bit of a chat about today. Now, those practical workshops we deliver all across the country. And look, it's a real focus on, I guess, the ear health and then the hearing health. And those workshops we customise based on community needs, based on service needs. So no two workshops ever look the same. So we will customise those. But really we're focusing on upskilling people to give them confidence, I guess, in the use of the tools like otoscopy, tympanometry, audiometry, otoacoustic emissions, and just about everything in between. But more importantly than that, what do you do with that information? So we teach, well, I guess we train and we build confidence in looking in people's ears and getting some data. But what do you do with that information? That's the most important thing, right? So we talk about referral pathways. What do I do once I pick up something that I'm a little bit concerned about? Who do I go and talk to? Who do I refer to? What's the pathways that are available? And of course, health promotion as well. So our focus, look, the program was initially funded around that early intervention around children. That is, of course, really, really important. We know that kids who can't hear well, can't learn well. It impacts their engagement in school, in culture, in family, and the flow-on impacts of that. We're all very much well aware of that. But it's also across the lifespan. Otitis media isn't just specific to kids. So we do work across the lifespan, and we also recognise that our elders may have missed out on those health checks as children. So it really is across the lifespan program. I want to touch on, it's been mentioned multiple times, and you know, the team at Hearing Australia just mentioned it as well. It's opportunistic. We want, I guess, people to think of every opportunity that you can to look in someone's ears. Please do that. So we would, you know, sort of lightheartedly mention in workshops, if someone comes into your clinic because they've got a sore foot, great, let's deal with that sore foot. But hey, while you're here, let's have a look in your ears, because of that fluctuating, I guess, occasions of otitis media. We just want, I guess we also want to encourage normalising ear health checks as well. So rather than waiting until someone comes in with, you know, a raging infection and it could be a little bit traumatic, let's look in people's ears when they're not, you know, necessarily raging and burning and sore. And I guess the other thing that I really want to focus on is building local capacity. So we would almost like to do ourselves out of a job. I guess what we want is people to be confident and skilled in their own communities, and then imparting that knowledge, I guess, amongst their work colleagues as well. Not to say that I don't want to keep doing this program, of course we do. So, why is Lorrraine standing here? Well, she's been practicing her dance routine for a little while. So earlier this year, we had the opportunity to work across Western Australia with Lorrraine and Aqua, and basically we went on a bit of a roadshow. So over the course of just under 3 weeks, I think we saw something like 112 people across WA in all of those locations. I think we probably saw Perth Airport way too many times. I think it was like 12 flights in about 16 days. So you can imagine what our eardrums were looking like and feeling like at the end of that trip. But look, the reason for that, and I'll let Jean talk about the things that we covered, but the reason for that came from Lorrraine, and that was out of a request, I guess, for more upskilling in working with babies. And I'm fairly sure that Lorrraine was very instrumental in working with babies. We wanted babies to come to workshops, we wanted to look in their ears, and I think Lorrraine just wanted to nurse the babies. All right, so I'm going to hand over to my colleague Jean, and she's going to give a bit of an overview about what we covered and why we covered it.
The why really came from Lorrraine to start with. So it was a needs analysis, right? So a needs analysis, going out to the services and actually asking people what they wanted to cover. So the sorts of things that we really focused on were relevant to babies up to 6 months of age. And the sort of things that, and because Sonic does now provide the equipment where we can do those health checks, and, you know, the point's been made that the earlier you can pick up ear issues, the earlier you can start explaining things to parents, the earlier you can start getting people into the right pathways as well. So maybe we can't do a lot for a 3-month-old baby, but we can start picking up that there are issues, and we can explain that to families and make it just a normal part of what's going on. And if those issues continue, we can get the progression through to ENT so much quicker. So instead of waiting until it actually becomes such a big problem, we can get that sort of service going very much sooner. And it's also that opportunistic, like, let's check, because those early months as well, the children are coming in, the babies are coming in for their immunisations. You can capture that age group so much better than you can when they're at that sort of like 2.5 to like 4-year-old gap, when there's a bit of a gap between the time of their immunisation. So the needs analysis was done. It was identified that we needed to maybe just do some upskilling in those early months. We did do quite a few places, as was said, And it also, so it kind of covered that opportunistic theme that people have identified, the promoting the health education side of things, and maybe just helping explain why babies cry sometimes as well. And it shows that we're kind of we're happy to customise whatever we do according to the group that's there in front of us. And when I approach a workshop, I want to know what people want from that workshop and then adapt it to suit the people in the workshop. So I'm happy to go with the flow. I might have an idea in my head, but that can go and then can change as well. So that whole sort of customisation, that micro skills, all that sort of thing, that's where EarTrain came from. And then we work with other audiologists, with other services to try to support people once they're in the clinics as well. One of the things that I did want to mention, because it came up yesterday about ear health in Justice Health. Somebody was mentioning that yesterday. One of the opportunities that we've had in New South Wales is to work with the nurses in the Justice Health system, particularly in the adolescent units. So we're very excited about that as well. And I think everybody in the room, I think, understands the reasons why we think that's important as well. So that's basically, I've lost Joe. Where are we going? Keep going. I don't know where I'm supposed to go from now. I just lost track. So I don't know where she's going next. Joe, get back here.
I was just teeing up Jean's dance routine. Thank you. Look, this is, this isn't the updated slide. I updated it to include my friends over here. This is a bit of a snapshot of some of the people that we saw, and I recognise that not everyone is on there. I did give an updated slide, I'm sorry. Our superstars over there, Great Southern, were also part of the workshops. So yeah, look, I just wanted to give a big shout out to, I guess the range of services that came along to our training, but I also want to give a big shout out to the audiologists who gave up their time to come along and help support the workshops and also provide information on, I guess, their referral pathways and their services and what they can bring to the participants and I guess their services as well. I'm not going to read all of this, but this is some of the feedback that we collected from the workshops. There was heaps and heaps of feedback. A lot of feedback about the food. Sorry, I can't do much about the food. But look, basically what we do is we collect feedback on every single workshop that we do, and that kind of helps shape the future of the program and what we can do to either improve, change, don't change, what have you. Just a brief snapshot. This is our team at EarTrain. It is a very small team, and we are literally delivering, I think, just about every week of the year, fully booked out for the rest of the year. So yeah, look, you know, just a big shout out to the team that basically we live out of suitcases, but we wouldn't change that because we love what we do. If you want to get involved in the program, this is how you can register to gain access to the online topics. And by registering, it also, you then get updates like our flyers and so forth of when workshops are coming up. I can see people madly taking photos, so I won't switch halfway through. But on the next slide. If you are interested in participating in a practical skills workshop, if you want us to come to you, to your community, to your service, please scan this QR code. It comes to me and I will be in touch just to work out what we can do and how we can support. I do have a strong suspicion that a roadshow with Lorrraine might be on the cards again in 2025. Watch this space. That is pretty much us. There is a little video that Lorrraine and her team put together. Lorrraine, come on. Lorrraine, not only was she instrumental in getting this happening, she was also our paparazzi over the 2 and a bit weeks. So if we can jump over to our little video, you might recognise some faces here.
I was just brought up here to click the button for Jean. Just thought I'd share that while this video is playing. What a journey throughout WA, and all is not done without the support of all of you, and supporting your staff to come along and attend to make that difference in their communities. So we all have a hand in this. It's not just us alone. But also I have to add that EarTrain, our lovely ladies here, it was their first time to actually do a tour of WA alongside of me, and I tired them out. Can't help it, and now they want to come back for more to tire them out again. My goodness. And we will be looking at planning for this, and I was the paparazzi. I don't do as well as our videographer and photographers within the Aqua team, so I tried my best. So he took over and actually put it all in here, but it was a great success, and hopefully we can get some more support for the next plan and journey that we do have. So thank you all.
For the EarTrain team?
That's good. Yeah, that's what we like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Into the mic.
There you go.
It's Rob Mullane again from Department of Health here in Perth. I'd be interested, I look after the environmental health contracts around WA. A lot of our staff, they're predominantly males and predominantly, although there's a growing number of ladies in our teams, most of them are Aboriginal people from a range of backgrounds. Would you be interested in doing some educational sessions for our environmental health workers around what otitis media is, ear and health and hearing loss, and what they can do to help with the prevention? So that's, we've got some training things coming up. We've got regional forums that happen from time to time, and having a professional development, for whether it's an hour or two, would be gold.
I mean, we'd be more than happy to talk to you about that because, like I said, we'll adapt whatever needs doing to that. And one of the things, like getting the awareness out there is really important, and even like getting the awareness out there about noise-induced hearing loss when people are out there working and the impact of noise on health in general. But one of the things in the standard for noise exposure is also chemical exposures. So there is extra screening suggested when you're exposed to certain chemicals as well. So that kind of ties in quite nicely. But I'd have to do a special little adaptation of the training, which I'm very happy to do.
But the answer is yes.
Yeah. Short answer, yes. I can't give a short answer.
We get on really well.
Okay. Right? Great.
Wonderful.
Okay, no, thank you.
Thank you.
That was great. No, thank you.